Hi, welcome to another video. Today's topic is Amazon Web Service SysOps. So let's start the question. A user is created a VPC with CIDR 20.0.0.0/16 with only a private subnet and VPN connecting using the VPC wizard. The user wants to connect to the instance in a private subnet over SSH. How should the user define the security rule for SSH? Option A. Allow inbound traffic on port 22 from the user's network. Option B. The user has to create an instance in EC2 Classic with an elastic IP and configure the security group of a private subnet to allow SSH from the elastic IP. Option C. The user can connect to an instance in a private subnet using the NAT instance. And option D. Allow inbound traffic on port 80 and 22 to allow the user to connect to a private subnet over the internet. The correct answer is option A. Allow inbound traffic on port 22 from the user's network. Explanation: the user can create subnets as per the requirement within a VPC. If the user wants to connect VPC from his own data center, the user can set up a case with a VPN only subnet private dot which uses VPN access to connect with his data center. When the user has configured this setup with wizard, all network connections to the instances in the subnet will come from his data center. The user has to configure the security group of the private network subnet, which allows the inbound traffic on SSH port 22 from the data center's network range. Let's move to the next question. A user has created an ELB with the availability zone US East 1A. The user wants to add more zones to ELB to achieve high availability. How can the user add more zones to the existing ELB? Option A. It is not possible to add more zones to the existing ELB. Option B. The only option is to launch instances in different zones and add to ELB. Option C. The user should stop the ELB and add zones and instances as required. And option D, the user can add zones on the fly from the AWS console. The correct answer is D, the user can add zones on the fly from the AWS console. Explanation: the user has created an elastic load balancer with the availability zone and wants to add more zones to the existing ELB. The user can do so in two ways: from the console or CLI. Add new zones to ELB, launch instances in a separate AZ, and add instances to the existing ELB. Let's move to the next question. A user has configured an auto-scaling group with ELB. The user has enabled detailed CloudWatch monitoring on elastic load balancing. Which of the below mentioned statements will help the user understand his functionality better? Option A, ELB sends data to CloudWatch every minute only and does not change the user. Option B, ELB will send data every minute and will charge the user extra. Option C, ELB is not supported by CloudWatch. And option D, it is not possible to set up detailed monitoring for ELB. The correct answer is A, ELB sends data to CloudWatch every minute only and sends does not charge the users. Explanation: CloudWatch is used to monitor AWS as well as the custom services. It provides either basic or detailed monitoring for the supported AWS products. In basic monitoring, a service sends data points to CloudWatch every 5 minutes, while in detailed monitoring, a service sends data points to CloudWatch every minute. Elastic load balancing includes 10 metrics and 2 dimensions and sends data to CloudWatch every minute. This doesn't cost extra. Let's move to the next question. A user has configured ELB with 2 EBS backed EC2 instances. The user is trying to understand the DNS access and IP support for ELB. Which of the below mentioned statements may not help the user understand the IP mechanism supported by ELB? Option A, the client can connect over IPv4 or IPv6 using dual stack. Option B, ELB DNS supports both IPv4 and IPv6. Option C, communication between the load balancer and backend instances is always through IPv4. And option D, the ELB supports either IPv4 or IPv6, but not both. The correct answer is option D. The ELB supports either IPv4 or IPv6, but not both. Explanation: Elastic load balancing supports both Internet Protocol version 6 and Internet Protocol version 4. IPv4 clients can connect to the user's load balancer using either IPv4 or IPv6 in EC2 Classic DNS. However, communication between the load balancer and its backend instances uses only IPv4. The user can use the dual stack prefix DNS name to enable IPv6 support for communications between the client and the load balancers. Thus, the clients are able to access the load balancer using either IPv4 or IPv6 as their individual connectivity needs dictate.